Hello, what's good?
What's brackin'? It is I, the DJC, aka TheDonJuanCarlos, and we're here for some more news, information type stuff. You already for the new Pokemon game Sword and Shield. So here's what I wanted to do. E3 was I think 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to wait to sit down and go through a bunch of stuff and just compile it all into one concise video instead of having like a bajillion different videos covering different topics. So that's what you're here watching. Welcome. How you doing? So there's been a lot of like news and different kinds of stuff coming out for Sword and Shield. Some good, some bad. It's all a matter of opinion. And I am bringing my Okay, so we're covering like all the different types of news, and I'm bringing my non-biased review about literally everything that gets covered. So the first thing I wanted to do was actually go through this article talking to Masuda and Omori about their design for the Galar region for the new game and like all the new stuff. So just sit back, relax, just cool out. We're gonna be reading this right quick. So, design of the Galar region. One of the first things we wanted to ask about is the theme of Pokemon Sword and Shield. What do you hope the players get out of the experience in the Galar region? This is from Omori. The biggest theme in these games is the idea of being the greatest or strongest. And we expressed that through the Nintendo Switch being the most powerful system that Pokemon games have been on before in terms of graphical capabilities and hardware specifications. Also, the Dynamax feature shows how Pokemon become huge and strong. We really want players to feel the idea of strength come through these games. Alright, cool. I get it. That's why they designed Dynamaxing. I'm with that. So next question is, tell us about the Galar region. What is the inspiration behind this new region? Why did you feel like this would be a good setting for the next big Pokemon adventure? The Galar region is based on the UK. We've already figured that out. Day one. And it ties back to the theme of strength. There's a lot of legends in the United Kingdom of giants and whatnot, and we're trying to convey that in these games as well, which would actually make sense about the Dynamaxing. If there are legends of giants and all kinds of fancy pants shenanigans, then Dynamaxing would be aligned with that. Creating an entirely new region sounds like a daunting task. How long does it take to develop a new region? What goes into the planning of these worlds? Again, this is from Omori. It depends on the game, but development can go for quite some time. Specifically with Pokemon Sword and Shield, we began the conception phase immediately after wrapping development on Pokemon Sun and Moon. The concept phase took about a year, and then we moved on to full production. All of that, along with the debug phase, took about 3 years. So that just gives you a sense of the timeline. Because if you don't know, Game Freak has 2 separate teams for when it comes to development. One is for other RPG games and things like that, and then there's a team separate for Pokemon games. They're trying to expand their horizons. They don't want to be just solely classified as Pokemon, which me personally, I don't mind. I think it's a great idea to expand, because you never know what different types of games and information are gonna hit different for different people. So just having a wide variety rather than just being stuck in doing one thing over and over again can really prove to be beneficial. So I totally get that. So 3 years and the game's looking pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is definitely looking pretty nice. So creating new Pokemon. Pokemon.com asks, we see you're holding these large plush versions of Pokemon Sword and Shield's first partner Pokemon. What is the thought process behind creating new first partner Pokemon? Are they designed as first partner Pokemon from the start? Or do you design multiple new Pokemon then decide which ones will become the first partners? This is from Omori. The way the Pokemon design process works is different each game, but for Sword and Shield process, we first had our planners and concept designers work to come up with the setting for where these 3 first-party Pokemon will be in the game. They created a text file with the thoughts of what that would be. They worked with our artists and designers to come up with designs that would fit the concept. So from the beginning, Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sobble were designed to be these games' first starter Pokemon. Alright, makes sense. You pick a theme, then group up with your team around you to really develop it and make sure that the starters are aligned with whatever theme or whatever intention you're out to create for the region. Yeah, it seems pretty easy. So how do you define an individual character of each Pokemon? First partner Pokemon, for example, seem to have pretty defined personalities. Again, this is from Omori. One of the things that sets Pokemon apart from other character brands is that we don't set out to design the Pokemon to be characters themselves. Instead, they're supposed to be these living creatures that are believed to have existing in their own environment. Like Wooloo, for example. You can picture that living on its own in the wild like an animal would. But it is a little different for first partner Pokemon. We try to infuse them with a fixed personality. For example, Sobble is a kind of crybaby Pokemon, while others might be more active and excitable. In general, they're designed to be believable living creatures, but we try to create more fixed personality to the first partner Pokemon. Yeah, create your bonds with Pokemon with their different personalities. Like Dartrix is a moody emo kid, but hey, I still love me some Decidueye. Young Hoodie, Young God, you already know what it is, man. So continuing on this from Masuda, for the first partner Pokemon in particular, those are the first Pokemon that players are going to choose. So having them convey a straightforward personality is important. It is to make it a lot easier to choose. Maybe people who are sad can choose Sobble. Who throw shade at all the depressed people. Oh my goodness. This video, this is definitely. Now that you mentioned Wooloo, which is a recently revealed Pokemon that seems to have become extremely popular with fans, are you ever surprised by which Pokemon the public seems to latch onto? When it comes, this is from Omori. When we're developing the new Pokemon, Wooloo was just another Pokemon that was there in the mix. I always thought it was cute, but it definitely caught me by surprise when just how popular it became and how much fans embraced it. Hey man, it's a sheep. It's literally a sheep. So developing new Pokemon games. What did you learn about the Nintendo Switch developing during Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee that you used during the development of Pokemon Sword and Shield? And this is Omori. Well, Let's Go were our first full Pokemon game project ever developed for the Nintendo Switch, and it's almost a sort of research project for us to learn how to develop on the system. Well, we did learn a lot that we were able to use. Let me read that again. We did learn a lot that we were able to use. From programming perspective, we were able to use very similar code based on what we were working in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Without having made those games, we probably wouldn't have been able to deliver Sword and Shield at this time. There was different teams working on those different games, but we were able to use a lot of what we learned. What elements do you feel are essential for a core Pokemon RPG game? Pokeballs. That's a little bit broad, but let me think of something. One of the things that I always put a lot of focus on is the feeling of growing alongside our Pokemon throughout the adventures. I think that's pretty cool with Pokemon series. One of the things that the Pokemon in general is that wild Pokemon start out as, well, they sort of like enemies, but you can catch them and they become your friends. So we want to make sure that Pokemon never come across as too evil. They're not just bad guys. They can also be your friend. Having the kind of relationship, I think, is key to the series. I mean, that makes sense. And just the way Pokemon works. I think the key thing, I don't think you can see my mouth, but So we want to make sure that Pokemon never come across as too evil. When you think of Pokemon, like Dark-type Pokemon, like T-Tar, T-Tar is like, in the deck's description, he's a monster. And you see him in the game, and he's kind of a tall, chubby boy, and he's just like, rawr, XD at you. Or like Absol, a lot of people love Absol, and you know, Absol's cool and all. But he's supposed to be the disaster Pokemon, but he's not like imbued with evil, so that does make sense. You know, you don't want to make a rated M game because it's supposed to be for children as well. But you know, I get that type of mentality and design for where that's from. So, and the sort of and then this is what Pokemon.com asks. Pretty sure they're interviewing themselves, but you know, whatever, dude. And then sort of the inverse of that. What traditional elements can you feel can be given a new spin in these core RPG games? Omori says one example is how you encounter Pokemon. There's always random encounters, and we did a lot of experimentation on the way that we would change that up a bit. We tried encountering Pokemon that you see walking around on the field. Then in Pokemon Sword and Shield, we landed on this kind of hybrid system. This is from Masuda. A lot changed. Every new game, we're thinking of the era in which these games are going to be released, and who the target audience is. So depending on that, who we're trying to make these a game appeal for, things can change every time. And this is from Omori. It can be even something as small as being able to use the right stick to freely move the camera in the wild, which is a new feature. Fire. I said I was unbiased, but that is an amazing feature that could be added to. That is added. Because compared to Sun and Moon, which are games that I love, not being able to rotate and see all of the environment, you know, kind of hinders the game a little bit. So just being able to, I know it sounds silly because it's like 20 years later since this game has been created, but it's big just to be able to move, to have free control of your camera. It's huge. So where was I? That was something that hasn't been in a Pokemon game before. There was a lot of debate internally about if we should let people control the camera. We've tried it out and decided that it was something that we want to include in the game. That's an example of meeting needs of the time. It's just become so normal now for games to allow you to control the camera. Players are used to that, so we felt it would work here as well. So Pokemon.com asks, does Game Freak consider Pokemon Sword and Shield to be more portable experience or more of a console game that you would play on the TV? Masuda says, it's kind of hard to say. We really view it as both. For example, the Dynamax will look a lot more impressive on a big screen TV. So maybe doing max raid battles is something you would experience on a TV. But at the same time, you can take it anywhere you go and enjoy your adventure anywhere. It really comes down to a player's playstyle. And here they're gonna go into a little bit more about the Dynamax Pokemon and the raid battles. So here it asks, speaking of Dynamax Pokemon, what is the inspiration behind this feature? Omori says, one of the big reasons we wanted to implement Dynamax Pokemon was that the Nintendo Switch has high resolution, and you could play it on a big screen TV. We would better express the difference in size between Pokemon before. On the smaller screen handheld only systems, there just wasn't enough pixels to really convey that well in a lot of situations. It was something that we wanted to challenge ourselves to do this time. So how do you feel Dynamaxing evolves from Mega Evolution or Z-moves? We wanted to take a new take on that powered up gameplay that we had with Mega Evolutions and Z-moves. We kind of combined the two in a way with Dynamax. Your Pokemon are powered up and growing much stronger, but also their moves change to be much stronger as well. Of course, we also wanted to make it more strategic when players choose exactly when to use their Dynamax, which is why we limited the power to just 3 turns. When introducing new elements to the Pokemon battles, such as Dynamaxing, how do you maintain a balance to keep the battles interesting? See, this is an important question. I see you, Pokemon.com, asking the hard-hitting questions. Look, even Amor says, that's a tough question. One of the goals that we tried to set out was to make it so that any Pokemon could be viable in a battle. I mean, I can see that. But one thing that comes with that, if everything's viable, then it's really hard to choose what you're gonna use. Which having just variety of things that you can choose from really does set for interesting stratagems and different kinds of ways to play the game. Virtually all of the Pokemon get Dynamax in the game. Even Pokemon that may not have had a chance to be in the spotlight until now will have a chance to use that ability. That was one of the main things we considered for the balancing perspective. So you can still have Rattata, Dynamax, and it's still a Rattata. But the point is, use your favorite Pokemon and put them in the spotlight, I guess. Will you be able to use Dynamax in a player versus player battle? Yes, you will. What was the inspiration behind max raid battles? Wait, so in PvP you can use Dynamax battles? Alright, I see you, big homie. We started with the idea of having giant Pokemon in the Dynamax feature, and then we saw them in action in the game. We thought that it would be a lot fun if you could just team up with friends to be able to take on these giant Pokemon like a big challenging boss. The Nintendo Switch gives us a lot in terms of performance. So we're able to have 4 players and their Pokemon and this huge Pokemon all on the screen at once. We've played around with it and it seems like a cool feature. Another one of these goals was to give the opportunity for players to engage in the multiplayer battles who like battling but might be too intimidated to get into player versus player battles. So having this option where anyone can invite their friends to come join them in a cool cooperative battle is something we wanted to do. I said sometimes. So, can max raid battles be complete by yourself, or are they designed solely for multiplayer? Even if you don't have anyone else to play with, you can challenge a max raid battle on your own. Ooh, for the solo players, they ain't got no homies. Yeah. If you do this, the other player slots which would normally be filled by human players, will be filled with support trainers. These are computer-controlled NPC players who come to help you out. I want to be honest with you, that's cool and all, but sometimes the NPCs are not that smart. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. Let's keep it going. So anyway, tell us about the wild area. How does this differ from a traditional routes in previous Pokemon RPG games? This is from Amori. A thing behind the wild area and how it's different from the typical route is that we wanted to create a place where it would be interesting to come back every day and see what has changed. Something that would feel different each time you play. We needed a really wide open space that would be able to do that. We also wanted to have some place that would support other players that you could play with. A big place provides a sense of adventure where you can encounter people, a place that has a sense of discovery. That's actually really amazing. Like, routes are cool and all, and they've been core to the experience of Pokemon. They'll always be. You enter a city, you do everything that needs to be done in the city. You go left, you go right, you go up, you go down, and you enter a new route, and there's new Pokemon, new trainers to battle, just newness on every route. And I think the opportunity really of the wildlands or the wild region, what is it? It's called the wildland, the wild area, excuse me, is just being able to experience the wide open space. Like, and really running into, and one of the things that they showed at E3 is like the wildlands changes, just like they mentioned at this top part of the article. The wildland changes constantly. Like, there are certain areas that are just raining, And in the raining areas, you'll find like Wingles, Bumblebees, things like that. And then the more you progress through the wildlands, the Pokemon will be higher level. So one area they'll be level 5, and you enter a different area, they'll be like level 26. There's one specific scene where there's a Macho that kind of runs up on you, level 26, and you got 15s and jump, which is sicko mode. But it feels like it's huge. Like, you do feel like it's gigantic. So I'm like really interested in seeing how it progresses. And I'm just really excited to just have it, like, the whole open. It feels like it's an open world. From what I've seen, it might feel like that. I wasn't at E3, sadly, so I can't tell you more information, but it seemed pretty fire. So here we go. Tying into the wild area, we wanted to get into your thoughts on the evolution of wild Pokemon encounters through the series. Of course, we used to randomly encounter Pokemon in tall grass, and eventually there will be an exclamation point, and a wild Pokemon could charge at you. That was in Sun and Moon. And you can now sometimes see Pokemon wandering on the screen. So, what place do each of these methods of encountering wild Pokemon have in the world of Pokemon? From Omori. These different methods represent two different ways of playing. With the Pokemon roaming on the field, you can see the Pokemon all behaving a bit differently. It seems like a lively environment, with all Pokemon around you, and you can see which Pokemon are out there. You can choose if you want to go catch them. You have a goal in mind, and you go. Let me read that again. It feels like a lively environment with all the Pokemon around you, and you can see which Pokemon are out there. You can choose if you want to go catch them. You have a goal in mind when you go to encounter that Pokemon. You want to catch that specific one. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of enjoyment to be had in not knowing what you're going to get. It's kind of a different thought process when you're engaging in both systems. I want to boast in Sword and Shield to preserve the discovery of going into a random encounter, which is definitely amazing. I think one of the great things that got captured in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon is just like the environment of the world was amazing. Like, whatever your opinion is about either of those games, like, you can feel the game. Like, all the characters are important to some degree. Like, it's alive. It's pretty fun. Like, you actually are immersed in that world. So just bringing that to wild encounters, like, even if it's just a smaller thing, like, I'll agree with, although I have my own things about Let's Go. Bringing Let's Go where you can see like just wild Pokemon just hanging out and you can just encounter them because that's what you want to happen. And bringing random Pokemon to make sure that you have that randomness and you never know what you're going to get is actually super duper fun. And I can't wait to play it, experiment with it, and do all kinds of wild shenanigans. Now, for the most important section of this entire article, the music of the Galar region. So who composed the music for Sword and Shield? The primary composers are Mr. Go, Ichinoise, and Miss Manako Adachi. How do music themes in the Pokemon reflect the Galar region setting? There's definitely a lot of things we challenged ourselves to do with music this time around. Although I didn't compose any of the music, I was very involved with the direction of the music and what I wanted to convey with it. The UK being the inspiration for the Galar region, I was inspired by my enjoyment of UK rock music, United Kingdom rock music. So I wanted to bring a sense of that to the soundtrack. Also, with the Wildlands specifically, most of the typical Pokemon route music has been fairly short-tuned that are about a minute or so that would loop. But since you're going to be in the wildlands for a long amounts of time, I wanted to have longer song filled with ups and downs. So there's some of that. Woohoo! Longer track. I love that. But that's about it. Covering everything. It doesn't cover everything they talked about E3. There's definitely a lot more stuff, but it goes into a little bit more in depth of the different processes that they went into in developing the new Pokemon game. So we're gonna cut here. It'll be like instantaneous for you. Then we're gonna transition. All right, welcome back. It's still me, DJC. We're going to talk about the Dynamax and Raid Battle section. So I'm on the Pokemon Sword and Shield website that goes over, and I'll have different details, different stuff from the article that Masuda and Omori spoke about. So if you're here ready for that, get your popcorn again. We're gonna go through this another time. So participating in max raid battles with other trainers. Max raid battles are completely new battle format. You will team up with 3 other trainers in order to take on wild Dynamax Pokemon. You get a chance to catch the wild Dynamax Pokemon that you face if you manage to defeat it. But don't get too confident. The wild Dynamax Pokemon will remain in their giant form for the entire battle and have other unique powers to boot. They won't go down so easily. Only one member of the group consisting of you and your allies can Dynamax a Pokemon during a max raid battle. So close teamwork is key. Additionally, some things you can do in the wild area, like max raid battles, can become even more fun by connecting with other players. So, face the wild Dynamax Pokemon together with your friends. It's a giant Gyarados. Only one trainer of the foursome, which is really weird to say, can Dynamax their Pokemon in only once per battle, so you only get one. And I'm pretty sure it still keeps the 3-turn rule. Cooperate with your allies is key to victory. Even catching the Pokemon is super dynamic. I guess. Anyway, wild Dynamax Pokemon you'll face in max raid battle seems to vary based on where you are in the wildlands, or whatever the weather is like. The weather in the wildlands changes every day, so be ready to meet a variety of Pokemon each time you visit. Also, it seems that some Pokemon can only be caught in max raid battle. For example, you can face Steenie when it's sunny, and Lantern when it's raining. Team up with all sorts of people as you face all sorts of Dynamax Pokemon. You can join with people near you to participate in max raid battles, but you can also connect to Pokemon trainers around the world via the internet and face Dynamax Pokemon together with them. Note if 3 other trainers aren't available to participate in Dynamax, support trainers will automatically be added to your side to help you with wild Dynamax Pokemon. And then this is letting you know that it's a paid service. So, what is new here in this article that was different from the E3 breakdown? So one thing definitely I will say is, so just this part here, where the Dynamax are based on whatever area that you're in and whatever weather that you're in. So I mentioned before that you'll find different Pokemon if it's raining. You'll find different Pokemon if it's hailing. You'll find different Pokemon if it's normal outside, just a sunny day. And depending on what the weather is like will also determine what Pokemon you can find. So, and of course they aren't going to reveal any new Pokemon in the Dynamax future, but Steenie's back in here. And so is Lantern and Gyarados, because Gyarados is the GOAT. And look at this art. I wish I could zoom in more into this, but I can't. But this artwork looks super fun. So that's really all that there is for Dynamaxing right now. We're gonna keep it pushing and head into another section. And I'm gonna catch you guys real quick. We have returned for the natural beauty of the wild area. Probably the most interesting and important part of this game. I cannot wait. You do not understand. I cannot wait. Alright, so check out the natural beauty of the wild area. There's a vast expanse of land in the Galar region, which is known as the wild area. The wild area is full of nature as far as the eye can see. And I can see pretty far, I want to let you know. And it connects to several different towns and cities. You'll find a greater variety of Pokemon living here than anywhere else in the Galar region. The Pokemon you'll run into will change depending on the things like weather or location, so you might see something new each time you visit. The wild area can be reached through various towns and cities and contain untamed wilderness. So this, you can't see my mouse, but on the left screenshot, you can see the big town in the left, which I'm assuming is based off of London, which would make a lot of sense because that seems like the hub of the entire region. And then to the right side, you're in the water. Oh, you don't even see any Pokemon in the left one, but you're in the water. What is that? You can see a Milotic. You're biking in the water because, you know, you can bike in the water now. Milotic. You got Mantike and a Mantine in the water. Still no new Pokemon revealed. Hey, at least you got Mantine, right? Hey, Mantine got a buff in 7th gen, so hey, it might be some heat. So, the power of Pokemon that inhabit the wild area. The wild Pokemon in the wild area, there is a chance that you'll run into powerful wild Pokemon. These Pokemon are constantly on their guard. In fact, you won't be able to throw a Pokeball at them when just starting your adventure. So, Vespiquen, it makes sense that Vespiquen is in this region. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I'm not sure if there's like bees or like honeybees, but she's a queen. The UK got a queen, and it's a royal family. Oh, you know would be a really interesting thing, and of course, as the game comes out, like we'll figure it out. But if Vespiquen, if there's a male version of Vespiquen and it's Vespa King, boy, that'd be some heat, dog. Like new evolutions, like you got a male version and a female version. That'd be hot. I'd love to see that. You've encountered a strong-looking Vespiquen. So, hey, Vespiquen, how you doing? I love me some Vespiquen. Anyway, new weather in the area. The weather in the wild area can change depending on where you are and what time of day it is. You'll see sunshine and rain, and you might even run into uncommon weather patterns such as thunderstorms. You'll find different Pokemon depending on the weather. So, top left, we got here a Seismitoad in the rain. That's my young boy Tumor, killing the game. He's just out here trying to give you a hug. And then you got on the right Sandstorm. That's my other young boy, my chubby guy. Young T-Tar is out here. There's no way you're catching a T-Tar at the start of the game. I just want to let you know that is one of those strong-looking Pokemon that will destroy you. So it seems the Pokemon you'll run into change depending on things like weather or location. We literally just read that. But it's raining here on both of these screens. You'll find plenty of electric type Pokemon during thunderstorms. When you battle during thunderstorms, the battlefield will have the effect of both raining, weather condition, and electric terrain. What? Wait, hold on. Wait. What? Wait. Excuse me? I don't think that's gonna do anything in like the battle, but like, not only is it raining, oh, you know what? Not only is it raining, but electric terrain is also active during a rainstorm in wild battles. That is sick. I'll be honest with you. That is super duper sick. Insane in the membrane. I'm with that. So have a look around the wild area. Well, in the wild area, you'll be able to control the camera and explore the vast space around you and search for Pokemon and items. That's really about it. My highlight is this right here, where it'll be raining and electric terrain will be active during rainstorms, which means there's literally gonna be all kinds of like insane weather effects if that's the case for everything. And that is fire, Big Draco, super cool, and I am excited for this. Ooh, the Wildlands is about to be. Ooh, the Wildlands might actually carry this game. Forget the story, forget everything else. Wildlands carrying this game. I'm already calling it. So we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna make a quick cut, and then we're gonna jump into something else right quick. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back here. Now we're going over the people and Pokemon of the Galar region. I don't think you people are ready. They ain't ready for all this. They ain't ready for the sauce that's coming up. So anyway, the people and Pokemon of the Galar region. During your adventure, you'll be traveling through the Galar region, where you will find many unique locations, such as huge grassy plains, aka the wild area, with nature and towns and cities where people and Pokemon work and live together. Another characteristic part of the Galarian culture. Ooh, Galarian? Okay, I see you. Make your words up. Is the way Pokemon battles are regarded as the most popular form of entertainment across the whole world, which explains why all the gym badges are in like giant soccer arenas. That's pretty fire. Challengers face off against gym leaders in Pokemon battle held in the various stadiums. I literally just said that. Found throughout the region. Whenever there is a battle in these stadiums, these stadiums ring with passion cheering of large crowds and fans and spectators. Ooh, you'll find many unique locations within the gallery. I want to let you know, this guy on the top left ain't got no hair. He got that baldy going. Just a little Badoo though. Rose Raid's coming back. You already know it's fire. She's fire. That's my boy Thicky. We don't know if it's male or female, but that is my boy and/or female Thicky, the Badoo. Pokemon play a huge part in the world of Galar region. Not only are Pokemon battles considered to be entertainment, but many companies are eager to include Pokemon as part of their workforce. Woohoo! We got the cast. As a resident of the Galar region, you will embark on an adventure to become the champion. Along the way, you'll be sure to meet many different people and so, we got our main character here, male or female, keeping it stacked. I'll let you know, the dude ain't got no sauce. But this female though, hella sauce. She's sauced out. Too bad that you can't you still get the 8. You pick 8 out of whatever you want to choose. It's alright, man. But give us full customization. I don't want to just be black. I want a grill and I want an afro. Give me my afro, young god. But that's fine. We don't care. It's the main character, right? We got young Leon from Resident Evil out here with shorts and thermal underwear. You already know. So we got Leon. Leon is the current champion of the Galar region. Has never been defeated in an official Pokemon battle. His personality, together with his peerless skill, made him extremely popular. He truly deserves the title as the greatest trainer in all of Galar. So, if you didn't see the trailer, I ain't putting it in here. I'm keeping it stacked because I ain't trying to get copyrighted. But he has a Charizard, and I guess one of the memes that are running around is that I guess no one has ever heard of Stealth Rocks or anything. Or basically any kind of rock to just body his Charizard. But hey, you never know what else he has. That's Leon. Then you got Leon's younger brother, our rival. I'm clicking this. Young Sauce God. That's young Hop. So Hop is Leon's younger brother and will become one of your rivals. He and you are neighbors. And you'll begin your journey the same day. He aims to become champion just like his older brother did. Hop is he's just cool, man. He's just cool. So we got Hop. Then we got Professor Magnolia. I am from Magnolia, but don't you still a soldier, You know, the young playboy Cardi, young god. So Professor Magnolia is the preeminent professor of the Galar region. Her main focus of research has been the Dynamax phenomenon. She shares her home with Sonia and has given her a certain research task. And we're gonna get right into Sonia because you know Sonia can put it on ya. Yer, nah me. So Sonia is the granddaughter of Professor Magnolia. She's Leon's childhood friend. She also is a young researcher who serves the assistant as Professor Magnolia. She's very knowledgeable and will offer helpful advice to aid you on your adventure. No mention of what that secret task is. God, we'll never figure it out, will we? But that's all the characters they've introduced so far. But we got more. So we got the Pokemon League here. In the Galar region, the Pokemon League is where trainers from all over compete to hone their skills at Pokemon battles. You have to take on the Pokemon gyms found around the region as you join the competition in trying to reach the pinnacle of Pokemon League, to attain the title of champion for yourself. Yes, sir. We out here. But not only that, we got our young goddess, our ebony queen, really out here, introducing Nessa, who's the gym leader, who's an expert on water-type Pokemon. Look at this. Bad. Why is it so bad, man? This is what we need. We need representation. We got 3 black people in this game. This is fire. So Nessa is an expert on water-type Pokemon and one of the gym leaders you must face on your adventure. Her calm, collected attitude hides a competitive spirit and an indomitable will. She will overwhelm any opponent in battle by blasting them with powerful water-type moves. Squirt, 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 nigga. Young god. Yer. Nessa. Nothing matters no matter what kind of plan you refined mind may have been plotting. My partner Pokemon will be sure to see. I think she's the second gym leader. We're gonna reveal her right after the one dude, the grass type gym leader who ain't got no nose. Because this is level Elder Glow. What is that? Is that? Nah, that ain't what I think it is. Anyway, he's here. Thanks, Destiny. I appreciate it. Wow. Love you. So only other thing is I meant to cut this and then go into this, but we're here anyway. But about the Pokedex and the Rotom Phone. Any Pokemon you catch during your adventure will have its information registered in the Pokedex. In these titles will actually be a part of your Rotom Phone. Your Rotom Phone is home to a Rotom, much like the Rotom Dex in Sun and Moon. A Pokemon that can enter various different electrical appliances, and your Rotom Phone can do a lot more than just serve as a Pokedex. So that'll probably be where your Poke Radar is. I'm trying to think what other features could be on the Rotom Dex. I hope they don't bring back the Rotom Lotto that just gave you like balls that you can just use, because that was broken. I didn't use any of them, but this shit was broken, dude. For example, you can attach it to your bike to make it move faster on land, or if you can travel on water. So that's exciting. So I'll keep it a stack with you. I'll keep it honest with you. One thing about the Pokédex, if you haven't heard now, is that the National Dex is not coming back as of right now. It could change in the future, but as of E3 and their announcement of I hit my knee on my desk. As of their announcement of like the new gameplay features and things like that, the National Dex will not be out with the game. Now, that might spark some people to say, well, this is trash, and I will never play this Pokemon game because there's no National Dex. And for other people, they just don't care. I'm on the side of I just don't care. Like, it'd be interesting to see how different like online battles go if there's like no core like Chomp. Like, certain Pokemon aren't gonna make it into the game, so that's a fact. So you never know. Chomp might not make it into the game. Landorus or Landorus T might not make it into the game. What else is like super strong? The Tapus. I highly doubt that the Tapus are making it back into this game. Because them things, ooh, you want to talk about powerful, borderline overpowered. And Tapu Lele is banned in most draft leagues because it's too strong. But if you can really have any other opinion on it. Whether they also did mention that it is possible, because Yokai Watch, if you never played Yokai Watch or seen any gameplay of it, the concept is similar to Pokemon, except instead of Pokemon, you find yokais, which are Japanese demons or spirits that just go around possessing things. Yokai Watch said that they won't have the full yokai decks or the full medals, is what they call them, pretty sure, in the game. But they'll, as time goes on, they'll patch in the rest of the yokais into it. So Pokemon has mentioned that they can do that, and that is an option to do that. But people are still mad and really don't want to. They just don't want to compromise. There's a lot of information out there and like different. Varying opinions. I think there's a Twitter page called Dexit or something like that, where you can find like more information about why there needs to be a national dex in the game. And as long as you go out and research it, you can go find it basically. So wherever you fall on the issue of no national dex, it's all a matter of your opinion. And people are gonna play the game whether there is no national dex or not. So, and if you want it to be, the option is still there to definitely voice your criticism, voice your concern, and have them put it in the game. All right, but other than that, I don't think there's anything else to cover for this. I'll just do one more sweep around. We got Ness, we got how to take on raid battles, we already know. You see the rock thing. We got our Pokeball Plus. I didn't go over, but we did have the reveal of our legendary Pokemon. So let's do that right quick. So the legendary Pokemon Zacian and Zamazenta. Alright, so these are the legendary Pokemon that will be featured on the packages of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. They are shrouded in mystery, and are even unknown to those who live into the Galar region. The shining noble blade that can cut through anything, Zacian, attacks so gracefully that its movements can even be captivated by its opponents. It holds what appears to be a sword in its mouth. The gleaming shield can turn back any attack. Zamazenta's regal and majestic movements overwhelm any opponent that dare face it. Its body is covered in what seems to be a shield. And that's really just it. So we're complete with this. There's nothing else that I want to cover. I need to cover. Just definitely just went through everything. So if you, first of all, hit that like button. Secondly, hit that subscribe button, because as more news rolls out and as more things come out about the game, I will be covering them. I'll try to do for the same day coverage, but you never know how it's gonna work out. And I definitely wanted to make a super compiled of everything that got covered in E3. So definitely, I wanted to make sure that gets done. So with that being said, I'm gonna catch all you wonderful people later. Peace out.